...2025 Appropriations Bill clears second reading hurdle at National Assembly.
This bill will further structure our economy.
This is a budget that clearly states its target of inflation reduction.
Federal government unveils multi-agency task force to tackle kidnapping.
The training and resources you receive have prepared you for this critical task.
Also tonight, NAFDAC cracks down on unscrupulous rice merchants in Nasarawa State.
And for what you can see from the carousel sites we went to, you can see the packaging materials of different brands.
Good evening and a warm welcome to NTA Network News. I am Jumai Yusuf. Hingino John Adams is joining us on the news tonight from Lagos. With me here in Abuja are Benny Adams on Business News and Badi Adele on our sports segment. Remember, you can watch this news broadcast live on all our social media platforms displayed on your screen. We begin with the debate on the general principles of the 2025 budget proposal, depicting bipartisan optimism among lawmakers in the Red Chamber. Just as the bill scales second reading, National Assembly correspondent Like Ali reports that Senate Leader Okweyemi Bamidele led the debate on the 49.7 trillion naira proposal as he highlights the aspirations of the federal government in 2025.
This bill will further restructure our economy, boost human capital development, increase the volume of trade and investment, bolster oil and gas production.
The defense allocation is the highest, running up to 4.91 trillion naira. This shows the will of the government to deal with the problem of insecurity once and for all.
4.6 trillion naira to infrastructure will go a long way.
If judiciously and effectively implemented, that Nigeria would be making a move in the right direction.
Yesterday, around Zamfara, Mr. President, I need to report the Nigerian security have neutralized over 500 bandits.
The idea that it intends to fix mostly security, power, and manufacturing. I think this will be a very good turnaround for our people.
The lawmakers, no doubt, align with the 2025 fiscal projections tailored to enhance security, education, healthcare, and improve socio-economic well-being of citizens. The debate featured suggestions on where government needs to do more for overall development of Nigeria.
There is a need to put all the major revenue-generating agencies to task. They should double their efforts.
Are we also very bold to carry out our oversight function?
Looking at the statutory transfers that have been earmarked in the budget, there is no provision for the South-South Development Commission as was passed by the Senate and the House of Representatives.
The bill after second reading was referred to Senate Committee on Appropriations to report back in 4 weeks as Senate adjourns plenary till 14th of January 2025 for the Christmas and New Year break. Away from plenary, stakeholders are urging more funding to education for improved access as Senate Committee on Tertiary Education holds public hearing on bill to establish Federal University of Education Technical in Gombe and Federal University of Information Technology Ikari Akoko.
No society will develop without educational achievement.
Enhances literacy quickly, enhances your way of quitting poverty.
At the heart of this proposed university is the need to bridge the digital gap and present a transformative platform.
Submissions at the public hearing support the drive towards technical education. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And at the House of Representatives, the 2025 appropriation bill also scaled second reading, with lawmakers acknowledging the president's priority on defense, infrastructure, health and education. The legislators observed the need to give attention to alternative sources of revenue and to equalize funding of all the zonal development commissions. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Unko reports.
The mood in the chamber was resolute. The commitment to swiftly commit to work on the nation's fiscal framework for 2025 was visible. Less than 24 hours after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu led the 2025 budget proposal of 49.7 trillion naira, the House of Representatives, in a swift and decisive move, has plunged into action.
Can we reduce inflation from 34.6 to 15% in 1 year? It is not impossible.
This is a budget that clearly states its target of inflation reduction.
After passing the budget, follow and ensure that what is budgeted for, there is value for money.
The chamber came alive again with activities of the 2025 budget. It wasted no time in reviewing the general principles and sectoral allocations of the appropriation bill. The debates on the floor were as vibrant as they were revealing, with members dissecting the policy thrust unveiled by the president, while some members lacked strategies aimed at stimulating economic growth. Others raised concerns over certain projections.
An allocation of over 2 trillion to the defense. You convert that money into dollar because majority of the security equipment are dollar related. You will see that we still have a long way to go.
The education, Nigerians must be educated under secure environment.
And so this revenue target of 36 might also be over-ambitious. We should be talking about expanding our sources of revenue.
And why we are here as a parliament is to look at the proposal to see if they are fit for purpose, if there are needs for adjustment. That is the purpose of this debate.
Amid the spirited debates, the House amended the 2024 Appropriation Act, extending the implementation of its capital components from 31st December 2024 to 30th of June 2025. This is to ensure the completion of critical government projects. The Nigerian Police Force Training Institutions Establishment Bill was passed. The House has adjourned for the Christmas and New Year holidays to reconvene on Tuesday, 14th of January 2025. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
From Ibadan, we are getting fresh perspectives on the incident which occurred at a children's fun fair, which turned tragic following the stampede, which claimed lives and many attendees were injured. Correspondent Kaide Omolosho reports that the injured are recuperating in various hospitals within Ibadan metropolis.
The event, said to be organized to share cash and food items to families for Christmas celebration, turned tragic after people from the venue as early as 4 a.m. in the early hours of Wednesday morning. The alleged non-coordination of the crowd by the organizers led to the stampede, throwing residents of the state in mourning.
Nobody has given any approval that that place will be used. Nobody. I wrote the submission to the Honorable Commissioner. The file is already on the table because of the fact that it was not around. The letter could not be released. That with that magnitude of people being invited, it cannot be used of that place.
In a swift reaction, officials of the state government, led by the Deputy Governor, Bayo Lawal, visited the scene of the incident and nearby hospitals to commiserate with the victims.
10,000 or thereabout hurt people, and no arrangement whatsoever is made for the security and arrangement. So, unfortunately, this is the resultant effect, and it's so sad at this point in time.
The Deputy Governor also clarified that the government was not involved in the planning or organizing of the event in any way, assuring that investigations are ongoing on the unfortunate incident with a view to bringing culprits to book. Kainde Omolosho, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has expressed deep sadness over the tragic incident at the children's fun fair in Ibadan, which resulted in loss of innocent lives and left many injured. The president extended his heartfelt condolences to the government and people of Oyo State, as well as to the grieving families and those who love their beloved children. President Tinubu has directed the relevant authorities to investigate the circumstances of the tragedy thoroughly, emphasizing the need to determine whether negligence or deliberate actions contributed to the incident. He has also urged the Oyo State government to take necessary measures to prevent such tragedies from occurring, including a comprehensive review of public events, safety measures, and strict enforcement of safety regulations. Similarly, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu condoles with the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, and the people of Oyo State over the deadly stampede that led to the loss of many children in the state. In a statement personally signed by her, the First Lady sympathizes with the family, friends, and loved ones of the deceased and prays for speedy recovery and total healing for those who are still in the hospital. She prayed God to grant peace to Oyo State, comfort to the families who have lost their loved ones, and hope to those grieving at this time. Elsewhere in Basa, Shiroro local government area of Niger State, we hear an improvised explosive device has reportedly claimed the life of a farmer. Confirming the incident to NTA State Commissioner for Homeland Security, Mohammed Bello Abdullahi, said the explosion may not be unconnected to the after effect of activities of bandits who took stage of the area in the past before they were dislodged by the Nigerian military. The commissioner who pleaded for calm said the ministry and other security agencies are on top of the situation and details on the unfortunate incident will be made public as soon as investigations are over. Moving on to other news now, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has reassured Nigerians that President Tinubu's reforms, particularly in agriculture, are geared towards unlocking the nation's huge natural potentials and guarantee food security. This was at the annual Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria's annual lecture with the theme, Food Security in Nigeria, Which Way Forward. Saliu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
Radio Nigeria, the country's famous radio station, in its 2024 annual lecture, adopted the ongoing reforms in the agricultural sector under the Tinubu administration as a point of reference, as experts provide comprehensive analysis of the challenges facing Nigeria's agricultural sector.
The importance of food and its security is an issue right in the front burner of governance the world over, especially in the last few years.
The journey towards food security cannot be undertaken by the government alone. It requires the active participation of all stakeholders, private sector actors, development partners, civil society organizations, and indeed every Nigerian.
Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris acknowledged efforts by key stakeholders who are working to ensure the full realization of President Tinubu's bold and transformative step by creating a Ministry of Livestock Development, a strategic move he assured will fully harness the potential within the livestock sector and boost the nation's economic prosperity.
It is in that realization that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, upon assumption of office, renamed the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to the new Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Nigeria, blessed with vast arable land, favorable climatic conditions, and a youthful population, has the potential to be a global agricultural powerhouse. Yet, we faced very significant challenge in attaining affordability and self-sufficiency in food production. This ongoing challenge is what has informed the special attention that the President is paying to this very important sector, which happens to be the biggest employer of labor in our country today.
As the government's image maker, the minister urged the organizer Radio Nigeria and the media to use its wider reach to sustain the critical role of promoting programs in raising awareness and educating farmers on modern techniques, climate change, adaptability, as well as various government interventions.
We can transform our nation into a land of abundance where no Nigerian goes to bed hungry, like the president will say. So I'm glad that Dr. Bulama and the management of FRCN is bringing this very prestigious annual lecture, bringing it back on our consciousness again.
The event attracted people from all walks of life. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Network News. There will be more reports after this break. The Office of the National Security Advisor has inaugurated a multi-agency anti-kidnapping fusion cell to tame the threatening phenomenon across the country. National Security Advisor Noor Ribado said the initiative is geared towards enhancing peace and stability. The report.
The National Bureau of Statistics revealed that about 2 million people were abducted between May 2023 and April 2024, and the figure is now provoking a paradigm shift.
Kidnapping remains one of the most pressing security threats.
The National Security Advisor, Noor Ribadu, said the inauguration of a multi-agency anti-kidnapping fusion cell will assist in addressing consequences of crime.
The training and resources you receive have prepared you for this critical task, and I expect nothing but professionalism, dedication, and innovation in your work. Embrace synergy, leverage the knowledge you have acquired, and ensure that this cell fulfills its mission to protect our people and communities.
This fusion cell will serve as a pivotal force in combating the menace of kidnapping by coordinating operational responses, analyzing data to track trends, and build the capacity of security personnel.
We, as the United Kingdom, have come in to provide our support, our expertise, and to allow you to adapt it to however you wish it or however you think that it fits into your own architecture within the security services.
The pivotal security strategy will be manned by professionals and driven by technology that will foster synergy amongst security agencies, promote consciousness, and entrench stability.
In the meantime, the Presidential Advisor on Policy Coordination and Head of the Results and Service Delivery Coordination Unit, Hadiza Bala, was at the Ministry of Police Affairs for the first to third quarter 2024 performance assessment engagement meeting. The parley focused on the implementation of presidential priorities and ministerial deliverables. Francis Fong reports.
In an event that underscores the administration's commitment to accountability and performance monitoring, as well as to evaluate and enhance the implementation of the Tinubu administration's renewed hope agenda, the Special Advisor to the President on Policy Coordination visited the Ministry of Police Affairs. Engagement at the meeting, which spanned the first 3 quarters of 2024, provided a platform to assess the ministry's performance, identify challenges, and explore strategic solutions for achieving national security goals.
The Ministry of Police Affairs has made significant progress in enhancing the security and welfare of one Nigeria over the past year. As part of our resolve to inclusive policing in our dear nation, we are committed to further improve on the existing synergy with other security agencies to strengthen internal security.
We also encourage for citizen engagement. There is a particular category of assessment deliverables that is about having citizen engagement, be it a town hall, be it a meeting, civil society engagement, it could be a Twitter space engagement virtually, but that citizen engagement is important because the president is keen for citizens to be aware of what his ministries are doing.
As the administration continues to prioritize national security, the performance assessment engagement underscores the importance of collaboration, accountability, and measurable outcomes in ensuring a safer, more prosperous Nigeria. Francis from NTA News.
Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has flagged off the distribution of food items to Christians in northern Nigeria ahead of the Christmas and New Year celebrations. While commenting on the imperatives for the exercise, the First Lady rallied for religious tolerance, saying our religious and ethnic diversity should be our strength, helping to nurture democracy in the country rather than stand in the way of our democracy and misapplied as an instrument of division. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo tells us more.
For Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, this hall holds a special significance. It was here in 2023 that the candidacy of President Bola Tinubu was endorsed by Christians in Northern Nigeria Political Forum. And with the Yuletide season much around, she is here to show her gratitude.
I don't know what speech I can tell you that would be more appropriate than thank you. Thank you for believing in this administration. You stood with us even when most people thought it was impossible. I want to reassure you, your pain is our pain. Your joy is our joy. So we are all in this together. Christmas is going to be celebrated.
The current administration and indeed democracy in Nigeria owe a lot to Christians in northern Nigeria who she said shunned ethnic and religious bias in favor of capacity and character during the 2023 presidential election.
Why would we be playing politics with hatred? Our diversity is our strength. Our multi-ethnicity is our strength. Nigerians are very generous people. Most of the donations I make, they are from Nigerians. No government money.
Kaduna State Governor Obasani, who led other northern state governors, serving and former lawmakers to the ceremony, described the gesture as a further affirmation of President Bola Tinubu and the First Lady's commitment to alleviating the challenges of Nigerians.
To the good people of Kaduna State, I urge you to use this positive season to consolidate on the peaceful atmosphere now prevailing in Kaduna State. I want to thank you for this wonderful work, the complementary role you are playing, and the support you are giving to our dear president.
The movement and the policies of this government, especially with economic trajectory, we want to assure Nigerians that it is like a special operation and policies of this government to go through the policies of transformation that we are going through. And anybody going through any surgical operation, definitely there are bound to be pains.
Joined by the wife of the Vice President, Hajiya Nana Shitima, and other guests, the First Lady flagged off the distribution of food items for the beneficiaries. She also announced the donation of 4 CNG-powered buses to the forum. From Kaduna, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the redeployment of 11 federal permanent secretaries. A statement by the Director Information and Public Relations Office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation says all handing and taking over processes should be completed on or before 31st December 2024. Meanwhile, the newly appointed permanent secretary to the State House, Temitope Fashedemi, has urged staff of the State House to see themselves as privileged to serve and to always strive for excellence. Speaking shortly after taking over the administrative leadership of the State House, the new permanent secretary emphasized that this privilege should be a driving force for positive work ethics. He reminded them that they are not necessarily the best Nigerians for their roles, but rather fortunate to be in a position to execute their mandate.
anywhere in life that you are adding value, you will get benefits. It's a principle. Even if the benefit is not coming from that place, it will come from somewhere. So those are my working principles, and I'm happy again, like I said, and God willing, everything that we will need to do, we will be able to do it working together as a family.
The Permanent Secretary took over the administrative leadership of the State House following the recent posting of some permanent secretaries. He assured staff of his determination to sustain the progressive momentum already established in the State House. The outgoing Permanent Secretary, Engineer Olufunsho Adebi, appreciated the State House management and staff for their support and cooperation during his tenure. He urged the new Permanent Secretary to trust in the staff's ability to support him in serving the President. Sam now to join our Lagos Network Center, and Hingino is standing by for more news. You're welcome back. The federal government has concluded arrangements for the implementation of the local government proof of address system across the 774 local government areas of the country. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, in a message at the stakeholders meeting for the activation and implementation of the system, says the initiative will enhance national security, economic planning, as well as strengthening the nation's national identity management. Kenneth Nanim reports.
Implementation of the proof of address system in the local government areas, ministries, departments and agencies of government is part of plan by the federal government to provide Nigerians with a verifiable and secured addresses, which would form an integral part of all administrative processes in both the public and private sectors. Represented by the Permanent Secretary General Services Office in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Dr. Maurice Mberi, the SGF says when the initiative is fully implemented, law enforcement agencies will have a robust database of verifiable addresses of Nigerians, which will enable them track and mitigate criminal activities and social vices.
This initiative will make it more difficult for criminals to operate under the radar and provide the government with the tools necessary to improve safety across all regions.
National President of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Algon, Bello Lawal, in a message says the initiative will also lay the foundation for effective planning and delivery of services that will engender good governance.
By establishing a formal system of identification through the POA, we are improving accountability and enhancing our ability to secure our neighborhoods.
German Ambassador to Nigeria, Annette Gunther, also in a message says database developed from the initiative will improve activities of government agencies that deal with data and the population. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The present administration has again demonstrated its commitment towards ensuring equity, transparency and accountability in all sectors of the economy. The successful conclusion of the 2024 licensing round bid conference held in Lagos. Olumide Eguntola reports that stakeholders in the oil and gas sector described the process as free and fair.
With the theme, Unlocking Nigeria's Energy Potential, a licensing round for the future, the 2024 round commercial bid conference is an indication that Nigeria is set for unlimited business progression in terms of increased revenue generation in the oil and gas sector. This milestone event, according to the Chief Executive of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, will undoubtedly drive economic presidential executive orders.
So what we have done today means that by the time the winners begin to operationalize, implement the terms of the award, what you are going to see is that you're going to unlock other reserves, and with that they are going to make more discoveries, and those discoveries will optimize the Federation reserves.
In all, 25 blocks were bidded for from 2022 to 2024 bidding processes in the presence of officials of Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, observers and other professionals who who described the process as free and fair.
The process that tells you that the current administration is doing fine, and I'm looking forward to see a progressing Nigeria.
This block that we have won, we are going to build it to the standards that will contribute in the GDP of Nigerian economy, will also contribute in the employment opportunity.
The Petroleum Industry Act, PIA, empowers the NUPRC to conduct periodic bidding rounds for the award of petroleum prospecting licenses and petroleum leases, which serve as a framework for unlocking Nigeria's energy wealth. In Lagos, Olumide Egutola, NTA News.
Newly inductees of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria have been charged to live up to the institute's core values to impact positively in the nation's public service. President and Chairman of the Governing Council of the Institute, Malam Ahmed Ladan Gobir, stated this during the 61st induction ceremony held in Umuahia, Abia State capital. Jude Obiaro has the report.
This is the first induction ceremony of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management. Is the first ever held in Southeast Zone. President and Chairman of the Governing Council of the Institute charged the new inductees to bring in their weight of experience to assist in repositioning the profession in the state.
We have learned to hire correctly. We have learned to retain people. We have learned to compensate people very, very well. We have also learned to ensure the well-being, of these people that we hire into the organization, whether in the public sector or in the private sector.
Period to the oath of alliance taking, the registrar of the institute read the institution's code of professional conduct to the newly inductees.
Between my professional obligations,
the event witnessed paper presentation by Commissioner 1, Ifeoma Ago, who represented the Chairman, Civil Service Commissioner, Abia State, Eno Jerry, who called on HR professionals to endeavor to set quality innovations and remain at the forefront of revolutionizing public service for a brighter future. Some of the inducted members of the CIPM spoke on plans to utilize their membership for personal and professional growth.
It's your commitment and availability and your zeal to be part of the family.
We are expected to do more, work more, engage ourselves.
A total of 162 members were recently inducted into the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management body in Umuahia, Judobera, NTA News.
And next is new business news with Benny Adams. Benny, as the year begins to round up, what's happening in the world of business?
So much both globally and in the local scene here in Nigeria. We'll start with global energy market, where OPEC Plus is wary of a renewed rise in U.S. oil output when Donald Trump returns to office. This is as players believe more U.S. oil would further erode OPEC Plus market share and hamper the producer group's efforts to support prices. And gold falls more than 2% after Fed signals rate cuts slowdown in 2025. See what the commodities market is posting at this particular time of the year. Now, Nigeria's capital market has today registered 8 consecutive sessions of gains, up 0.77% amid a sustained positive investor sentiment. And looking at the numbers at this time, we are seeing 111.3 million shares exchanging hands between investors and market players, and deals reaching 10,260 as against 9,573 yesterday, and the value at the end of the day is pegged at 26.3 billion naira as against 9.19 billion. And looking at the trades at this particular point in time compared with yesterday's market, today's data shows 3% improvement in volume, 85% improvement in deals. And looking at the top trades, Univinsure is 38.2 million, ICO is 20.9 million, and GTCO, talking about the banking stock, is sitting at the third spot today, 20.44, which means that the industries in Nigeria are actually coming up stronger, much more than ever. That is it on business. You can take it from here.
Thank you so much, Benny. And moving on, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund says it will continue to improve academic content and delivery through the provision of quality infrastructure and the development of skills of tertiary education workforce. Executive Secretary, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, Sonny Ichenu, stated this while inaugurating some projects at the College of Education, Akampa. Justina Etim reports.
3 intervention projects inaugurated include State-of-the-Art School of Education building, the Cultural and Creative Arts Department, as well as the Department of Kinetics and Health Education building. The Executive Secretary, TETFund, urged the institution and the host community to ensure adequate maintenance of the facilities for posterity.
As required by the fund, the project was organized by the college to address deficient areas and provide requisite infrastructure to aid teaching, learning, and research, and to provide a conducive environment for both the students, the lecturers, and the non-teaching staff.
The Cross River State Governor, Senator Basio II, represented by the Commissioner for Quality Education, Stephen Ode, says the gesture is in line with the state government's commitment to educational advancements.
Therefore, thank you for doing this for Cross River State. Thank you for doing this for this institution. The governor is committed. He needs your support. The step we have taken in the education sector will transform the entire community. Your support and guidance for this institution have been instrumental in shaping the trajectory of our institution and ensuring that we remain at the forefront of academic progress.
Earlier, Governor Basio II, represented by the Deputy Governor Peter Ode, declared open the 2024 Tertiary Education Trust Fund Management Retreat in Calabar. In Calabar, Justina Etem, NTA News.
The National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has sealed off a warehouse and 8 stores for repackaging and sale of various brands of rice. This is in continuation of its commitment to safeguarding the health of Nigerians. Hamban Jabani reports that the sealed stores are located in the Mararaba axis of Karo local government area of Nasarawa State.
To ensure the safety and quality of food products in Nigeria, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has embarked on a nationwide enforcement exercise. The enforcement team visited a warehouse involved in repackaging local rice. The agency received a tip-off from a concerned citizen about the illicit activity ongoing at the warehouse. A suspect arrested at the scene took the NAFDAC officials to 8 different stores within the Maraba area selling the repackaged rice. Some of the suspects interviewed claim ignorance of the allegations leveled against them.
And for what you can see from the Karo site we went to, you can see the packaging materials of different brands from one particular facility. And then they package this product and sell to unsuspecting unsuspecting Nigerians, so that the unsuspecting Nigerians will believe that those brands are really what they are consuming.
This exercise is believed to be a clear demonstration of NAFDAC's commitment to protecting the health and well-being of Nigerians and part of ongoing effort to ensure that all food Nigeria meet required standards. The NAFDAC team says large quantity of rice valued at 5 billion naira. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
We'll pause for another break. The news continues in a moment. Thanks for joining us. Nigeria has saved 30 billion naira through constituency and executive projects tracking initiative from December 2023 to December 2024 out of 1,500 projects monitored across 22 states in the country. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, disclosed this while presenting the Phase 6 of the Constituency and Executive Projects Tracking Report. The Commission had, within the period under review, recovered cash amounting to more than 700 million naira.
This initiative tracks the implementation and performance of constituency projects to promote social accountability. The focus areas include education, empowerment and capacity building, health, water resources, agriculture, road infrastructure, and power.
On ethics and integrity compliance scorecard, which serves as a preventive tool to assess and enhance compliance of MDAs with ethical standards, policies and anti-corruption measures, ICPC says no ministry, department and agency achieved full compliance out of the more than 300 MDAs assessed. Time now to join Bade Adele for the latest in the world of sports. Hello, Bade.
Many thanks, Jumai. All right, let's begin with football. As the Nigerian under-17 girls, Flamingos, have earned a place in the final of the 2024 WAFU B Under-17 Girls Cup after a decisive 2-0 win against Benin Republic in one of the semi-final matches played earlier this evening. They will face host nation Ghana in the final on Sunday after Ghana recorded a 5-0 win over Cote d'Ivoire in the second semi-final game. Now, in a bid to ensure the safety of players, fans and officials during football matches at stadiums, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has embarked on the CAF Safe Stadium initiative. This initiative involves comprehensive training for chief security officers of all 20 MPFL teams, focusing on both theoretical and knowledge and practical skills. CAF emphasizes the importance of stadium security officers having robust plans and capabilities to guarantee safety during football matches across Africa.
The idea is that, as you know, we've been having serious incidents across Africa, and research has shown that it is simply because people do not have the know-how on what needs to be done. And this is why we came up with this intervention program. After this training, we expect that people will improve the way they deliver sports safety and security operations. Secondly, there will be no more excuses on why you cannot deliver. And if you are found erred, in not implementing the safety and security regulations of CAS.
All right, let's let you know that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will end the year in the 44th spot when it comes to the FIFA men's rankings after the rankings released earlier today by the World Football Governing Body. Under coach Austin Iguavoen's leadership, the team also remains in 5th place in Africa, trailing Morocco, Senegal, Egypt and Algeria. At the previous ranking in November, the Eagles had dropped 8 positions to reach the 44th position. Meanwhile, Argentina continues to hold the top spot as the reigning world champions in the world. And of course, talking about Argentina, and of course France are 2nd, Spain 3rd, England 4th, and Brazil 5th. That'll be our beat on sports. Let's now return to Juma, who might not be happy that Nigeria is 44th.
Indeed, Bade, I see our girls doing us proud out there. We wish them luck in all the other matches. And now for a dose of cultural therapy to wrap up tonight's bulletin, we do have a story on someone who has been making waves on social media. A Swiss-turned Nigerian sensation who has got many wondering if she isn't more Igbo or indeed Nigerian than they are, with a blend of humor, cultural survey and a healthy dose of Nigerian swagger. Our person of interest is redefining what it means to be truly Nigerian and culturally Igbo. and we can't get enough of it. So sit back, relax, and get ready to meet the ultimate Niger sweet sensation.
I just entered my car. I want to go somewhere.
Meet Janine Udogo, popularly known as Nwanyocha on Instagram. The Swiss Igbo lady who is breaking down cultural barriers with her razor-sharp wit and even sharper Igbo language skills.
By this time of the year, I'm supposed to be in Ethiopia.
Married to a Nigerian from the southeast, Nwanyocha has taken the bold step of becoming an honorary Igbo daughter, fluent in the language, absorbed in customs of her husband's people, and teaching her kids the Igbo language.
Here we go. Custard. Arioto? You like it, yeah? Okay. Arioto?
This is no joke really. In a world where cultural identity is under threat, Nwanyocha's journey shows us that our indigenous languages are not just a source of pride, but a key to unlocking our collective potential. As she navigates the complexities of Igbo culture with humor and humility, Nwanyocha reminds us that language is not just a tool for communication, but a powerful symbol of national development and identity.
Indeed, Nwanyocha is a testament that culture transcends race, tribe, or ethnicity. It's a beautiful way to live a life. Thank you so much for watching NTA Network News tonight. I am Jumma Yusuf.